morning students. In the previous video we had seen about the introduction to laser diodes. Now we will see the laser diode modes and the threshold conditions. So here in an optical fiber communication system where we need the bandwidth to be approximately greater than 200 megahertz, in that case we prefer the semiconductor laser diodes compared to that of the LEDs there. So here for the laser diodes the response time is going to be less than 1 nanosecond. The spectral width is going to be around 2 nanometers or less, and we can couple by using a laser diode. We can couple from tens to hundreds of milliwatts of the useful power into the optical fiber, where the optical fiber is going to have a small core and the small mode field diameters there. So here all the laser diodes are going to be a multi-layered heterojunction devices. So here we are going to use your Fabry-Perot resonator to generate the resonant frequency there. So here we call that lasers are nothing but oscillators which are going to operate at a particular resonant frequency. So here the oscillator is going to be formed by a resonant cavity which is going to provide a selective feedback. The cavity is going to be called as a Fabry-Perot cavity or a Fabry-Perot resonator, where we are going to have two plane mirrors which are going to be separated by a distance L. So here the cleaved crystal lens are going to function as partially reflecting mirrors. So the unused end is going to be coated with a dielectric reflector so that it can reduce the optical loss which is going to be occur inside the cavity there, to reduce the optical loss that is going to occur inside the cavity. So the light beam which is going to emerge from the laser is going to form a vertical ellipse, even though the laser, the lasing spot at the active area of facet is going to be a horizontal ellipse. So here we are going to have, this is your Fabry-Perot resonator, where we are going to have this is the length of the resonator, and this is going to be the width of the resonator, and this is going to be the transverse region where we are going to have the lasing spot here. So these two layers are going to be called as the optical and carrier confinement layers, and this is going to be called as the active region there. So where we are going to have the lasing spot to be present, from where the light is going to be emitted out. So the optical output which is going to be emitted from the laser is going to be coupled into the fiber there. So at the edge of the fiber we are going to have a dielectric coating is going to be present, so that it is going to reduce the losses that is going to be present inside the cavity. So the cavity ends are going to be cleaved on the crystal planes there. So here in this case, when I am going to have the lasing spot to be propagated along the horizontal direction or the longitudinal direction, we can see that the intensity of the light is going to be more. That means the pattern, the radiation pattern what we are going to have is going to be a far field pattern there. So here we can see that the maximum light can be coupled into the fiber when the light is going to be propagated along the longitudinal direction. So here we can say that a Fabry-Perot resonator cavity is going to consist of two parallel mirrors which is going to be separated by a distance L, and these are going to be called as these two mirrors are going to be called as the reflecting facets. So here when a light is going to be incident on this mirror or on this Fabry-Perot cavity, here a portion of the light is going to be reflected back, and this is going to be a partially reflecting mirror. So a portion of the light will travel along the mirror and the remaining will be reflected back. So when it is going to be reflected back, here in this case, since this is going to be a reflecting mirror, the wave that is going to be reflected again will be reflected and will have a multiple internal reflections to take place inside the cavity. So when these internal reflections are going to take place, these waves are going to have a constant phase. So when it's going to have a same phase, then in that case there is going to be a chance that the phases of these angles will get, these waves will get added up, and we are going to have a constructive interference to occur inside the Fabry-Perot resonator cavity there. Once I have the total output which I am going to get out of this cavity is going to be, all the waves will be added up because you are going to have the same phase and the intensity of the light is going to be amplified. So when it will get added up is when the wavelength that is going to be reflected back is going to be an integer multiple of the length of the cavity, then in that case those waves will get those waves will have the same phase and will get added up there. So it is the operation of a Fabry-Perot resonator cavity. So we say that we are going to have two flat partially reflecting mirrors which are going to be directed towards each other to enclose the Fabry-Perot resonator cavity there. So here in this case they are going to be constructed by two parallel clubs with a natural cleavage on the planes of the semiconductor material there or the crystal. So the purpose of the mirror is to produce a strong optical feedback in the longitudinal direction there. So the feedback mechanism inside the device is going to be such a way that it is going to act as an oscillator where the gain mechanism is going to be designed in such a way that it is going to compensate for the optical losses that is going to occur inside the cavity at certain optical frequencies or the resonant optical frequencies there. So the sides of the cavities are going to be formed by roughing the edges of the device there. So by roughing the edges of the device, what we can do is we can avoid the unwanted emissions in the lateral direction. So in the sideways we can avoid the unwanted emissions there. So as the light is going to be reflected back and forth within the Fabry-Perot cavity, the electric fields of the light interference on the successive round trips are going to get added up. So here in this case, those wavelengths which are going to be the integer multiples of the cavity length that is going to interfere constructively so that their amplitudes will get added up when they exit from the device through the right hand facet there. So all the other wavelengths will interfere destructively and thus cancel themselves out. That is, when a light is going to flow through the Fabry-Perot cavity, the light will be reflected back. A portion of the light will be transmitted and the remaining light will be reflected back. So when these lights are going to be, when these wavelengths are going to be reflected back, and if these wavelengths are going to be integer multiples of the cavity wavelength, those wavelengths will have the same phase and it will interfere constructively there. So and those wavelengths which are not integer multiples will interfere destructively and will cancel themselves there. So when the constructive interference are added up, the amplitudes will get added up when they are going to exit from the device. So the optical frequencies at which your constructive interference occurs at the resonant frequency of the cavity. So here in this case, if I want to increase the amplitude of the signal, in that case the spontaneous emitted photons which is going to have a wavelength at those resonant frequencies will also reinforce themselves in this multiple trips there through the cavity. So as a result, the optical field will become more stronger. So the resonant wavelengths are going to be called as the longitudinal modes because they resonate along the length of the cavity there. So the laser diodes are going to have three distinct radiation modes. One is the longitudinal mode, the other one is the lateral mode, and third one is your transverse modes. So in laser modes, the N mirrors are going to provide a strong optical feedback in the longitudinal direction. So how it is going to provide strong optical feedback is by roughening the edges and cleaving the facets so that the radiation can be achieved in the longitudinal direction rather than the lateral direction there. So for different values of the reflectivity of the mirror, we can see that a resonant occurs when the reflectivity is going to be very high. So when the reflectivity is going to be high, we are going to have the resonant frequency to be at one particular resonant frequency to occur at one particular point. So here we say that the resonant wavelengths in a Fabry-Perot cavity for three values of the mirror reflectivity. The resonance is going to become sharper when the reflectivity is going to increase. So thank you.